There you are. Morning, everyone. Yes, I am still in my morning robes of comfort, having a nice uh, cup of coffee to warm up. But later on, I'll be going into Parliament, where the action is at today. There's going to be a big tractor demo in Parliament because the agriculture bill is now coming back to the Commons. So, if you recall, when the agriculture bill was last in the Commons back in May, um, our government instructed their MPs not to add on any amendments that protect British food and British standards from being undermined by produce from abroad, particularly US produce, which is made to a lower standard. Well, then that went to the House of Commons in September, where the Lords, no, went to the House of Lords in September, where the Lords absolutely trashed it by an overwhelming majority, said, nope, we can't allow in food produce into this country that is a lower standard than our own. We can't allow it to undermine our farming. We can't allow it to undermine our health. So they put on an amendment for that, and also another amendment to say, and this new Trade and Agriculture Commission that you've set up, it's got no teeth. It's just a fig leaf. Put some power in it. And so that's what they said, by about a hundred votes majority. And now today, this afternoon, it comes back to the Commons, and it matters. It matters because without adequate protections for basic standards, it's a threat to not just farmers. 1 in 3 could go bust if Brexit all goes really badly and then we get undermined from outside. But also it matters to food standards, what you and I eat and what we put in our families and children's tummies. But also it matters for animal welfare as well. If we're going to be sponsoring countries and farms abroad that treat their animals worse than we do here, that's not a good idea. And fourthly, undermining British farming and getting rather our exports from the States or the other side of the world, Australia and New Zealand, that's hardly good for climate change if you're transporting your meat around the world instead of just locally. So it's daft. But nevertheless, this government is determined to do it. And they're even using sort of a bizarre rationale now, like, we understand that you want to keep away the Texan mega farm, but if we guarantee our own standards, then think about the small African producer that wants to sell to us. It's like, where did they get that logic from? Absolutely bizarre. At the moment, of course, we do trade with Africa through the EU, through a special scheme whereby there's no tariffs and there's no quotas on anything except arms for the vast majority of the African countries. So this is the EU's everything but arms scheme, which is approved by the World Trade Organization in order to open up trade with Africa. And in fact, the EU is Africa's biggest trading partner. There's more trade going from Africa to the EU than there is actually within Africa. But anyway, what the EU has done is said, no tariff barriers. For those poorest countries, the developing countries, no tariff barriers, no quotas. And also the EU has been investing in trying to develop regional agreements around Africa in order to help them out with their basic standards of production, their transportation, their packaging, etc., in order to ensure that they can meet more and more of the European standards in order to get more of their produce in. That's the way to do it. But Liz Truss is saying, no, think of them. Shouldn't we drop our standards in order to allow African farmers to undercut British farmers and British food standards and our health? Don't think so. So it's absolutely bizarre. And there's another very good reason that we need to put up demands on those standards. In the US, because of their recent what is it? Not Defense Procurement Act. I can't remember exactly what the act was. Let me see if I've still got up. Yeah, Defense Production Act in April. That actually caused a whole load of deregulation of US food production standards. It was a response to the pandemic, ensuring that they could, cover their own supply chains. And so the meat industry in particular saw a lot of significant deregulation. So rollback in plant inspection standards, meat labeling regulations, and farm pollution restrictions, and so forth and so on. So it means that they even at the moment allow the sale of chicken meat made from birds that have had diseases. So you really want to keep this out. So the long and short of it is, today is a very, very significant day. We know that the government have booted one amendment into the long grass and sent it back to the Lords, and will be voting on the other. But there is a significant Conservative rebellion afoot, because especially for those rural MPs, they don't want this rule revolt on their hands. And certainly there have been tractor demonstrations throughout the country recently. There were 2 on Friday. Now those tractors are coming to Parliament today. So we need to make a whole load of fuss today. I will be helping drive all of that on social media. There's tons of British campaigns involved in protecting our food standards, from Prue Leith and Jamie Oliver right through to the RSPCA, to the NFU, Save British Farming, which just tons and tons of Global Justice Now, just tons of organizations from lots of different angles, from animal welfare standards through to food quality, through to protecting our farmers, through to environmental concerns, all going hard on this. And the public as well. A recent poll showed, I think it was 94% of the public do not want to compromise our standards and let in chlorinated chicken and hormone injected beef. So the fact that you can have the NFU that got a petition with 1 million people signing that, saying protect our basic standards, and then Dominic Cummings, unelected, instructs ministers, no, don't compromise on this. We want full liberty to drop our standards. That tells you where we are with this government. So given all of that, which I have told you, please do use the link that I've put in the description of this post to send an email to your MP today. That's the Save British Farming link. It's already got text in there, so either use that or edit that, adapt that as you see fit, maybe drop in the Cummings line. I particularly like that one myself. But anyway, please use that, then also share that with friends, then also magnify this story across social media today, because we need to go hard on this one now, hard on this one today. And yeah, that's it. So I'm now going to finish my coffee, get ready, and then I will be in London in Parliament to welcome the tractor demonstration of Save British Farming. Yes. Right. Catch you all later, folks.